Hello everyone, welcome to our next installment of the How to Stamp series. Today we're going to talk about using our stamps with their coordinating thin cuts or even other thin cuts. So I have with me our Build a Rainbow thin cut and one of our Stamp Plus thin cuts, the Besties, and this is the Lucy version of that. There are 4 different Besties in this collection and they are super adorable, really cute, and come with their own thin cuts, which make them even better. Now, our thin cuts, you can, changed where the position of the phone was. So our thin cuts, you can do a variety of ways. So some people prefer to cut the image out and then stamp, and others prefer to stamp and then cut out with a thin cut. But honestly, because our stamps are acrylic and therefore see-through, it doesn't matter which way you do it. You can do it whichever way works best for you. So I've already done the thin cut part because that is just not exciting to watch. And you can see I cut my paper first, then I stamp. It's very rare that I stamp and then cut. So this is the first time I've used Little Miss Lucy, and she is going to get colored later. And I'll do some of that maybe even on here with you. And I'm just gonna line her up. The reason you have the choice with close to my heart stuff is because you can see through, so you can make sure you're lining your stamp up in the best position. I'm gonna give it a good ink and stamp and then peel it off, and it's perfect. I use the intense black ink because I know that I am going to use my watercolor or my markers, the alcohol markers with this. So I wanna make sure that there is no bleeding of the ink. I'm gonna put her back on, and I'm gonna do my next stamped image, which is on this piece of cardstock here. So we're gonna build something with this. We're not just here to make pretty things and then call it a day. I don't really have a word for what we're making, but what we're doing can easily adorn a card or a layout. So it's like a little cute thing. I can show, we have a whole page of them in our catalog, and I thought, you know what, I wanna make some of these. They can easily go on other pieces of artwork, but they're so cute and fun. So I will show you my inspiration once we're done, because if you have the catalog, or you can go to the online version and take a screenshot, it might inspire you as well. So Lucy comes with the I love you, and I'm just gonna keep the love you portion of that and use that as part of what we're making. Clean that off and put everything back. Now, I've already gone ahead and also cut out with the Build a Rainbow some rainbow pieces. You can see these here, and I've got all the pieces I need to create what we're gonna make. So to start, I'm gonna move that aside, and on this white background, I'm gonna start gluing my rainbow pieces. Now the white background, we're gonna trim quite a bit of it away, but it is what we're gonna use to build our rainbow, which is funny because it's called Build a Rainbow. So I'm not gonna worry about being centered. I am gonna make sure I add some pressure so this stays put while I get the glue on the next piece. And since I only have 2 hands, I feel that is why we have blocks, for a variety of reasons, but to help with holding things down is certainly one of them. All right, there's our next piece. So these are all cut from our mix-in paper, the current mix-in for this catalog. And it has lots of great colors. So I thought they were fun patterns and colors to use for my rainbow that would add some nice variety. I didn't go in the traditional color format, but again, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want with this. I have to say my favorite thin cut right now in this catalog is probably the Build a Rainbow. I have used it so many times, and it will definitely be one that I will keep forever because it's so versatile and fun. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, next we're gonna bring in our clouds. So there is a cloud thin cut on this set, as you can see here, and I have 2 of them. And I'm going to use foam tape with one Oh, look at that sticking up. It needs to hold her down. I'm going to use foam tape with the one, and the other I will trim and place behind the rainbow once I trim that rainbow out. So this is also using that mix-in paper. Place that right there. And now, before I get too far, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna trim around my rainbow. I'm leaving a white border because you're gonna see the white between the rainbow pieces. And I'm trying to turn my paper as much as possible as opposed to trimming it by moving my scissors. And I'll leave that bottom on for now, but it won't stay on for long. So next I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna add some glue onto the one side of this cloud, and then it's gonna get glued right there so that it looks like it's behind the rainbow. I'll move it down a little bit. And we're gonna bring back our sentiment. And I'm gonna trim this down just a touch. Trim. And trim. And then I am going to dovetail both the ends. Now if this was a longer piece, I would probably, you know, fold it over a bit without creasing it so that I could cut these at the same time. But because it's fairly short, it would be awkward and I probably would end up creasing it. So I'm gonna be extra careful and not do that. So there's my love you. All right, so let's get some colors for my girl's hair. And specifically, I want to show you how to do the hair as opposed to other pieces. So I'm just trying to find my marker, there it is. And I will also need a journaling pen. So this is a trick that Close to My Heart uses, and it's so smart. And I wanted to share it with all of you because the smart things should be shared. So I've got our true blue shade and I'm using the darkest color. So when I look at my coloring chart, this is the deepest blue we have. And I want to make her hair quite dark. But when I color it, obviously blue's not a color that hair comes in. But wait, because when I finish it up, it will all make sense. And she's got beautiful curly hair. So I'm just gonna color around, make sure I get behind. Obviously, the hair falls at the back. And I continue this in that deep blue color. And I'm doing circle motions even though you're not going to be able to tell that, but for some reason, because it's curly, that makes me feel better. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing little circles as if I was coloring each individual curl. You know, to each their own. Okay, that's the hair, the base. Now you're gonna shade with a journaling pen. So I have a 0.3. I actually want something a little thicker. So I'm gonna come in with, yeah, that's better. One of our thicker pens. So this journaling pen is too thin. This one is one of our Melissa Esplin pens. And I want to be able to highlight the curls with this. This is what's gonna make a really big difference with what I have happening here. And I can lightly see her curls. So I can kind of go over where they are to really highlight that. Obviously it'll be better when I can get really close because my eyes are not what they used to be. But I will show you what it looks like as I get close to finishing this, because then you'll see how this makes such a big difference. And this is a great trick to use with any hair of a really dark color where you want to be able to highlight it but still see the curls, see the hair. So I'll bring this up to the camera, and it still looks really blue. I can go over that a few times to deepen that color. And then I can also go back with that pen and do more shading and curling, but you can get the idea there of what's happening. So I do have to finish coloring her in, and I don't know that you wanna watch me do that. So let's finish our thing, and then I can do that and post a finished picture later for all of you to see in the comments. And I wanna show you the inspiration shot for all of this. Okay, so trimming out my rainbow, just like that, moving all these scraps. I actually feel like I need to trim this a little more evenly across that bottom, that's better. And across here too, there we go. Okay, so what's gonna happen is my sweet little Lucy here, she is gonna get glued right here on this side of my rainbow. And then with Lucy and some foam tape, I will place my sign, the love you, along here. So once it's colored, that will pop more, and I may end up doing an outline around the love you just to help that really stand out with my journaling pen, but you can get the idea. So let me show you what it looks like, the inspiration in the catalog. So there's mine, obviously not finished coloring. And you can see there's Lucy, and that's where I got the coloring from, and that's where I got the tips on the curls, and I have to finish those. But here is the inspiration for the rainbow piece, because I loved it, right here. And this is with one of the other besties. So look at all these fun things in our catalog that you can recreate. So imagine popping one of these onto the front of a card, or popping one onto a gift, or a part of a scrapbook page. These are really fun little things that you can create using your product, and you can use them right away, or you can use them later on. So that's a little bit about our stamps and how they work with thin cuts, and stay tuned for more fun videos and inspiration throughout the week. Bye everyone.